households is now planning to cut to over 31,000 households and therefore decimating its finances. It made a promise to protect council tax support, and it has broken that pledge today. The residents in the consultation said no. Have you listened? No. You have not made a single material change to these proposals. And in Conservative held wards, we're going to see huge impacts, anywhere from wards having impacts of 298 households impacted, all the way up to Whitewebs having 1,223 households. All these households seeing an impact of anywhere up to £280 being taken out. But the impact mainly falls on Labour-held wards. The top 11 wards are Labour-held wards. It's the residents that have elected you. Over 25,000 of them, households, face cuts of up to £280 a month. That is over £3,000. And they talk about the hardship fund. That's not going to cover it. £1 million, £1.5 million isn't going to cover all the money that you're ripping out in the process. And I'd just like to, we have a very detailed report, and I'd just like to speak to what some of the residents have said. One said, I can barely afford my council tax now. In fact, I had to apply for hardship fund this year. How am I expected to pay more money in council tax? I don't know. Another said, the cost of living is already high, that households like mine are struggling to afford enough food to support their families, and implementing such changes will put households in poverty. Another said, I won't be able to afford to pay my bills, my quality of life. I'm sorry, I'm quoting residents here. This is not me saying it. This is residents saying it in your consultation. Another said, I won't be able to pay the rent or feed my kids. Another said, we won't be able to survive. We'll need to cut down even more on food and heating and lighting. And another said, we are already struggling to keep up with utility prices, inflation, as well as ULEZ. This will definitely make it difficult for us to survive as a family. And this goes on and on and on. Residents imploring you not to make the changes. And you're planning to do all this poverty, stress and hardship to save £7 million. Why do you need to save £7 million? Because you built up a black hole of debt. You're having to spend £31 million out of the revenue budget to cut services. You're having to put up taxes and cuts to services to fund that. And this is clearly a very detailed 250-page report with 50 pages of consultation responses from residents imploring you not to make the change. And when it came to Cabinet, this detailed report that's going to impact 31,000 households. How long did you spend discussing it? How long? You spent 8 minutes discussing impacting over 31,000 households. That is an absolute disgrace. So over £3,000 you're going to be up to £3,000 you're going to be taken out of people's pockets. Rents, you like the idea of rent caps until it's your own tenants. Up to £1,000 increases, inflation busting charges increases. So council tenants could actually be £4,000 worse off a year because of the decisions that you're taking tonight. You talk about the cost of living crisis, you are the cost of living crisis tonight. And finally, in terms of sorrow, it is low-income families, the disabled, carers that are going to have to pay the cost of this Labour administration's reckless approaches to finances. And I have said so many times that this authority would either go bankrupt or it would be the lowest income households that would pay for their failures. This is going to land like a hammer blow on residents, and it is your decision that you're doing it. Shame on you.